Hi guys, I'm back. This is really awkward. I'm gonna get into why I've been away at the end of the video, so if you're only interested in that, I will leave a timestamp about here. I just want to say I've missed creating so much. I kind of want to leave 2021 where it was and just start fresh. To do that, let's go through all of my favourites for 2021 because I miss talking about makeup. First of all, for primer, I still use my Touch and Soul. If I'm ever doing like full glam days, I use it in my more porous areas around my face. But my nose especially has been so temperamental in 2021. Foundation did just not want to stick to it. I did an overhyped makeup video in 2021 and I used a moisturising primer around my nose and I noticed that makeup sat so much better on my nose. So I bought an Essence primer. This is the Prime Studio Hydrating and Skin Refreshing Primer. It's just a nice hydrating primer. It looks like a moisturiser and you blend it in and it feels moisturising and nourishing, and it doesn't smooth pores or anything like that. It just moisturises. But if you have areas where foundation, like you're blending and it will not stick, this is a good one to try, and because it's Essence, it's affordable, so if you don't like it, you haven't wasted a ton of money. A lot of my products this year are affordable. There's a few high-end and luxury in here, but it's very few and far between, you'll be happy to know. So foundation, I have been getting back into liquid foundation the last like 3 or 4 months of the year, of 2021, but powder foundation is still my best friend. I didn't think I was going to love this as much as I do. I will buy another one of these. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Powder Foundation. This is a satin matte powder foundation with hyaluronic acid and cannabis sativa. Now it does come with one of these little puffs. I never use these. See how much I've used. Like, this is beaten up, this poor thing. But I use this every single time. Just look a little bit more put together, just more natural beat. I am wearing this powder foundation. I use it all of the time. I am trying to also get through some of my other ones because I have so many powder foundations, and I want to do like a recent releases anti-haul, a bit like the Smoky Go Bus or Pass. What I might buy and what I'm probably just going to leave. Anyway, I love affordable good powder foundations because I use them so often. The high-end ones I feel like I don't want to use too often because I go through them so quickly. Something that I am surprised I fell in love with is the Eyebrite Illuminating Under Eye Concealer with Vitamin C by Revolution. Look how little I have left. Again, I basically just use these in conjunction with each other. It's a lighter coverage concealer. It has one of those like sponge tip applicators. I'm not going to show you it too much because mine is disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I've got so little left and I would definitely repurchase. This is the first Revolution concealer I genuinely like and I use consistently. I wasn't a huge fan of the Conceal and Define, the matte one or the Infinite one or whatever it was. They felt exactly the same to me. They were good, but they just weren't, I don't know, I had like my collection ones I preferred. I had my Milani one that I love and adore over those, but this, for more natural days where I just want to pop out to the shops, this is why I've gone through so much of it. It's so pretty, it's lovely, I love it. And for setting under my eyes, because I do not use powder foundation at all under my eyes, that is a no-no for me. The Can't Stop Won't Stop setting powder from NYX. It has one of those like stoppers so it doesn't get too messy, but you know, it's a powder, it gets messy. Very smoothing under the eyes. It's very similar to the Colourpop No Filter powder. It's just really smoothing. I stopped using my No Filter powder by Colourpop and was using this consistently. I grabbed for this consistently. Easier to get hold of in the UK than the Colourpop one, so I probably will continue using this rather than No Filter once I get through my No Filter. If you have pores and you just want to like look more like airbrushed, that powder's great. So contour people probably don't give a shit about, but I just want to talk about it because it's one of my favourite steps. The Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting powder. I hate that I love this so much. It is the perfect shade for me. Like, you can see how much I've used. I was trying to get through this because I was like, I've got so many contour powders, I just need to get through them. I still love my other contours, but this one has just more of a grey undertone. All the others are a bit more brown. They lean a bit more brown. This one is such a good grey undertone. There's a reason why everyone spoke so highly of this powder for a really long time, and why it's still like a very coveted product by makeup artists. And it contours amazing. I will say, I apologise, I should have worn a bunch of these today so you could see them in action. If you can't afford that, the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. So I have two, because I have a nice cool tone. This is in Feeling Shady. You can see the colour here. It's very like grey undertone. Tan Lines, which is a lot warmer. These bronzers are about £5 each, I think. So both of these I think were a tenner. They blend so nicely. I will say, just as a heads up, I feel like cream products, as I'm oily, just don't last on me very well. Even my powder products, let's be honest. My blush contour, it just fades really, really quickly. So I don't know if that's just me. Maybe I just need to layer setting sprays more often. I don't know. They do fade, but they're so beautiful. I love, 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 love playing with these. I gravitate for them all the time. If you want to lean into cream products but you don't want to spend too much, so, so nice. I've heard great things about the blushes as well. I just can't find a shade that I really like, so I haven't tried the blushes. But speaking of blush, this is excessive, there's 3. These two I was using constantly at the start of the year, all the time. If you ever saw me in a video, I was using the Mulan Blush by Colourpop. See if I can find the colour, but it's like, it's the lightest shade they did of the Mulan blushes. Honeysuckle Blush. This is the KVD Everlasting Blush. This blush has no fallout. You can put your brush in here for ages and you just get no fallout. So it's great if you're like applying powder on the go, especially if you're like me where everything fades really quickly. So if you want to just have, you know, a little bit of blush, a little bit of powder or whatever in your handbag just to touch up during the day, or if you're like going out at night and you just want to touch up, this is great because you can just and you don't have to worry about there being powder flying everywhere. They're very similar colours, to be honest. Like, they're really not far off at all. They're very, very nude blushes that I just adore. I think this one does last on my skin better than the Colourpop one, but I still love both. I reach for them constantly if I ever want a very nude blush, because I have so many peachy blushes which I need to declutter, which I'm considering doing a full review of my collection and declutter series on my channel, because I need to just say goodbye. And speaking of nude blushes, for the last half of the year, this Pat McGrath Blush Without Caution, I don't know what shade this is in, but again, it's like a nudie kind of shade. First of all, look at this, that embossing, and I've used this loads of times, and that embossing has not faded whatsoever. I love the compact. You have to press this button. I think that's really, like, really nice, classy packaging. When you're spending so much on Pat McGrath, you kind of expect good packaging, and this just, oh, it's so pretty. I love this colour. Again, very similar to the other ones, so if you want something less luxury, those two are great. Well, if you were thinking about these blushes, they apply just as beautiful as they look in the pan. It has like this slight sheeniness to it. It's not completely matte, and it's just, oh, it's beautiful, and I love the packaging. I love it. The highlighter of the year for me, this hurts me to say because this is really expensive. It's another Pat McGrath product. The Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlighter. This one doesn't have a little like thing to press. Again, the embossing in this, and look at that shade. Is that not the most stunning champagne? I'm gonna swatch this one. This is such a wet champagne gold colour. It reminds me a bit of the Amrezy highlighter. It's such a beautiful colour. It's my favourite highlight of all time. So the Pat McGrath blush is a bit smaller. I haven't really got much to talk about with eyeshadows because I haven't really bought new palettes recently. I'm really trying to like hold off buying any. I did buy is the Marilyn Monroe Revolution. But these shades, I like that these are just 4 really pretty shades. I use this one all the time. Again, really stunning, beautiful. Look at that shade. Such a cool tone, like silvery colour. All of the others are just as beautiful. And I like that this was really, really, really affordable because it's Revolution. It was a Marilyn Monroe collection. I had to buy it all. I thought these were so pretty and it was just a really nice little add on to my collection. The other thing I use a lot, which is really, really, really random, but it's this Guava Glitz Too Faced Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow. It's just a nice glittery eyeshadow, that one at the top. It doesn't have a lot of pigment to it. It's kind of like a gold with blue and purple kind of shimmers. But it's just really pretty, and it just, I got it for cheap because, you know, this was an old collection. I think I got it from TK Maxx if I remember rightly. I like these kind of glitters where you can just use it as a topper. Not to mention eyeshadow primer. I don't use my Wet n Wild one that much anymore just because I'm going to squeeze it out and then apply it to your lid and it has no colour to it. I still love that one. It's still great, but I did reach for my Urban Decay Eden eyeshadow primer potion all the time this year. I'm wearing it today and my eyelids have not creased. It's one of the best out there. It is a bit more high end if you can't afford it. Wet n Wild is killer, but if you can afford it and you want a tinted one and you're similar skin tone to me, although I know that Robert Welsh uses this colour as well, so I still prefer brow pens. I am trying to get through some of my other ones, so I just have a normal pencil and I'm using my sleek, like, you know, the little pizza wheel thing? The NYX Lift and Snatch pen. This is just a pen. Creates hair strokes. I love this pen. I love that it's affordable. I use this a lot. It is darker. This is in the shade Brunette. The only thing that annoys me about this is I'll get through the brow and then I get to the tip and I'm like, it does dry out a little bit, which annoys me, and I have to sort of, I do my brows as well after foundation, so it's trying to get over the foundation, so it does kind of get a little bit covered in foundation, so I have to clean it off on my hand and then go back in. But really great brow. It's one of those ones with like it's a brush tip one, a bit like the old tattoo liner by KVD. The brow gel I was gravitating towards a lot last year was the Nudestix Brow Boost and Set Gel XL. Kathleen Lights asked every single year for Nudestix to bring the little brow gel that comes as a little jewel with the triangular brow pencil and then this brow gel inside. She was asking for the brow gel specifically by itself, and Nudestix finally listened to her. It comes with a really nice little spoolie, really nice. And I hate it. The only thing I hate about clear brow gels is that after a few uses they become like browny grey sort of colour, because of obviously the pigment that you're going through on your brows. It's awesome. Also the e.l.f. Wow Brow dark brown, I think it is. I have that in my brows at the moment. I love that one. That's like been my go-to the last couple of months. I didn't include it just because I haven't used it all year, but the last couple of months I use that all the time. I love that one. An eyeliner I just want to give a quick shout out to is, I'm not even sure if you can get this anymore, but the Anastasia Metallic Luster Liner. This thing I used all the time in my inner corner. This is the shade, and it's a really amazing metallic gold eyeliner. I use it for graphic liner. I used to use it on my inner corner all the time. I'd put something on underneath and this one directly on the inner corner, and every time I do that it just brings so much brightness and life to it. Because I think this is discontinued, I did buy a Kiko one recently, so I'm going to do like a comparison, but this is still my absolute holy grail. The mascara that I've used constantly this year, I've been trying to get through a few. I'm currently using the e.l.f. The purple one, Big Mood or something, I can't remember what it's called. This is pretty dried up because I used this for a good 6 months consistently. This is the Powerful Pink and Proud Lash Princess. This is my favourite Lash Princess of all of them. It has the brush that I prefer with that like hourglass shape natural bristles, not plastic bristles brush. Really affordable, like about £3. Gives you really voluminous, beautiful looking lashes, and because it's affordable, I didn't feel guilty using it on a daily basis just to run to the shops or something. That's one of the things with my Pat McGrath. I was always like, oh, but I need to use that when I'm on camera or going out, I don't know, to the movies or something. Whereas an affordable product, I don't feel guilty just grabbing going. So love this holy grail of an Essence mascara. Lastly, the Linda Hallberg Velvet Couture liquid lipsticks. These two I use all the time since I got them. I'm currently wearing Deep Nougat, and this one is in just Nougat. These are the two shades here. They're very, very comfortable liquid lipsticks. I also use her lip primer a lot. I didn't want to include that just because I've only been using that the last couple of months, but it is definitely a product I really, really stand by, especially when I'm using a bullet lipstick. It's really, really nice liquid lipsticks. I use them a lot in conjunction. I'll do like an ombre with them because they're such pretty colours together. I think they're gorgeous. Not that kind of liquid lipstick that dries down and gives you really like cracky looking lips. I've been wearing this for a good like hour or something now, and it looks great. So those that stuck around to the end, I appreciate it. So last year, my mental health, I mentioned a lot throughout the year that it was really bad. I had some really, really dark moments. I think you can probably figure out what that means. I felt a lot of pressure around YouTube as well. I felt like I had to post once a week. I felt like, you know, I'd grown this audience of like 900 people, and I felt like I had to post, and I had to post bigger and better content, and I had to be keeping up with the drama, and I just couldn't do it. I work full time. I want to spend time with my partner. I want to spend time with my family, and I need time to relax, and I just couldn't do that. I was putting way too much pressure on myself. So that's why I've come back to something very casual, where I'm talking about stuff when I want to talk about it, and I'll post when I want to post. I'll edit when I want to edit. If you came here for commentary content, I'm sorry, I will no longer be doing commentary content. It's not for me. The community is not for me. I think you guys have been great to me. You really, really have, and I really, really appreciate it, but it just felt toxic. I think I need to stay to fun, more casual content that I hope is still going to be entertaining. I will be sharing some deeper parts of my life. There's a lot of events that have happened in my life, which to a lot of people probably will sound like nothing, because they probably have a lot harder life than I have, but to me they were quite big, and I eventually would like to share those with you guys, almost as like a diary, to say that this is where I was and this is where I've come from and here's where I am now. I hope that you guys aren't disappointed in me. I have to do what's better for me first, and unfortunately that's probably not what a lot of you guys signed up for, so I am sorry. I hope you found this video entertaining. The start of it anyway. I hope you liked my new haircut. I got it cut today. I was growing it for a really long time and then decided that I need to cut the fucking thing. Because I will be doing fun videos. I'm going to do a lot of makeup challenges. I'm going to try and do like anti-hauls. After I've got this video out, I'm going to film a what I recently bought, because I bought a ton of makeup. But I also bought some new shoes, so I thought I'd share those. I want to do like my boyfriend picks my makeup, because we've been together almost 6 months now. Very exciting. Casper! Don't knock my camera. Casper's got very big now. He's very full-sized. And Jack. Yes. Yes? Ooh, you good boy. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all very soon in the next one. Bye!